Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and today I'm here with my friend Travis. And Travis has his own YouTube channel as well with our friend Franklin. It is called Duel Humor. Do you just do like Yu-Gi-Oh jokes or something, Travis?
So Duel Humor is kind of just a play on words, but we are dual in terms of competitive and casual, as well as there's two of us, and sometimes more fun, not all the time. If you check the description down below, you'll see a link to our channel, and yeah, if you subscribe to us, they'll let my family go. So.
All right, cool. So, Travis, I know you as a train player. You showed up at our locals with Franklin, and you smoked me with trains and Orcus and stuff. And Franklin smoked me with Sky Striker Trickstars. Yeah. Haven't seen y'all in a while because, you know.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
Trickstar, Sky Striker.
All right, so we're going to play some trains today. We actually were going to do like Infinitrack trains at first. We did a switch up because it's not the preference, I guess. Before we do the card by card, what's your thought on the Infinitrack build, which we wound up not playing? Which I could put on the screen for a second.
Yeah, you could throw it up for a second. These are basically just like two different versions of essentially the same deck. The Infinitrack line is much more dependent on your normal summon. So that's the reason why we're switching, is that I'm a little afraid of back row decks today, so if people, solemn your normal summon in this version of the deck, that's kind of like the end of your turn. So, this other version with the Machina cards, I think has a little bit more extension power. So, it might come up to preference, but you guys will see us play with this version of the deck today with the level 9s, Metal Crunch. It might be up to preference, but if you do end up trying these cards out, you'll find out pretty quickly what you like. So, yeah.
Alright, so if you're not familiar with the series, what we do here is an expert with the deck shares their deck list, and then we play a few games on Yugioh Pro, where the expert has no control over the cards. All they can do is tell me what to do, and I will do my best to be like you, the audience, and question everything he tells me to do. Alright, and
You should.
I would consider myself a general Yu-Gi-Oh expert, so I will know all the random things that are going on, even though I might not know the correct line, because I don't know the deck.
Yes.
Also, the correct.
I've blown you many times, so I know you're very experienced. So
yeah,
with our heads together, we can beat some people.
Yeah, we can beat some of the wacky, weird, crazy stuff of Yugioh Pro, Edo Pro, Ignis, crazy meta. All right, so
yeah, once we start barreling forward with this deck, the games go pretty fast. You'll see. I mean, it might happen a lot, but people quit out of this deck a lot. So,
all right, so
hopefully we'll be able to finish some games.
Cool. All right, so before we get started, I'll just do a quick card by card. If anyone wants to purchase these cards, there is a TCGPlayer affiliate link in the description if you want to support the channel while just acquiring the deck. So first we have 1 Night Express Knight, 1 Machina Citadel, 3 Super Express Bullet Train. I think that thing's expensive right now. 3 Derricrane, 3 Machina Metal Cruncher, 1 Machina Fortress, 1 Ruffian Railcar, triple Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, triple Ash, double Valor, triple Lightning Storm. Can't get myself to buy these until there's events. Triple Desires, 1 Terraforming, triple Machina Redeployment, which is really good. Triple Urgent Schedule, which I do have. those. Triple Revolving Switchyard, triple Infinite Impermanence. In the extra deck, we got double Libe. I got those. 1 Sky Palace Gungaradai. Haven't gotten that. 2 Super Dora. 2 Gustav Max. Just got its alternate art with its big shiny gun. 1 True King of all Calamities. 1 Blackluster Soldier. Soldier of Chaos. 1 Cleaford Genius. I love this card with Floodgates. Turn them off. And then, oh, we don't play any Floodgates. Alright, 1 Akashic Magician, 1 Platinum Gadget. Oh, I like Platinum Gadget. Especially if there's like Scrap Wyvern involved. No, it's not.
That's very good in this deck.
Alright, 1 Pentastag, 2 Double-Headed Angler Knuckle, which is something that came out right after we did the train deck the last time I did it. So I haven't gotten this.
Oh, wow.
So this is not in the previous how-to, so this is at least new. Currently reciting triple Sphere Mode, triple DD Crow, triple Cosmic Cyclone, double Forbidden Chalice, triple Evenly Matched, and a red reboot. Any of your choices in the deck worth mentioning for someone who might be familiar with the train deck, but you might have done something a little different?
Sure. So Metal Crunch is not the greatest card for us. It's probably the only true train support we've gotten recently. But it is a +1 on summon, so it's a little necessary. Now, the debate between Infinitracks and the Machina cards is that if your Infinitrack card gets Infinite Impermanence or Veilored, you just kind of have like this flaccid monster sitting on the field, while Metal Crunch then becomes 2,800. Its attack is halved on summon, so I think that that is really good. That's also why we're running the Chalice inside, so that we can target it and turn it into a beat stick. At the end of the day, this is a deck full of chonkers. Like, you're just trying to beat your opponent down. Yeah, so Lightning Storm, if you're going to play this deck, you need that card at 3. Yeah, there's just honestly no way around it nowadays. Triple Pegasus is kind of just my preference, because nowadays the games are much grindier. It used to be that you could just, Night Express Knight, Crane, OTK, that was it. And you didn't really have to worry too much about, back row and extension, but nowadays, like, decks just extend, and you will get stopped in your OTK, like, 50% of the time. So you need a deck that can grind, and this list is specifically designed to grind and also to stop your opponent from kind of being able to play on their turn. The extra deck is kind of interesting. A lot of people probably don't agree with this if you do play Trains, but I can just kind of explain it. So, Double-Headed Anger Knuckle, we're running 2. You need 2. There are too many decks that banish cards in your extra deck, and yeah, if this card gets banished, it's really pivotal to the strategy. Like you were saying earlier, yeah, this is a new card, and it severely helped the deck out. It gave the deck an incredible amount of power in tandem with Switchyard, so you can activate Switchyard on your opponent's turn, effectively netting you 3 to 4 monsters during their turn, so you can kind of scapegoat, and those monsters float in of themselves. So, like, I'm running 1 Ruffian Railcar, which not very many people like in Trains, and I totally understand. This list is kind of also to just show you guys why this card is still good in this deck. It's because of schedule and Switchyard. You just want 4 targets. You can go with 3 for those cards, but because we're not running Infinitracks, we're going to do 4. Machina Fortress, this was like the first structure deck I ever picked up when I played this game. So that's why I like Earth Machines. I have a lot of nostalgia around this card, and this card is still good. And it works in tandem with our new card, Machina Citadel, which is right above it. This card is incredible. This is what gives this deck the sustenance and offensive power it needs. If you go first, you can pretty easily set up like a True King of all Calamities, or you can set up a Dora, and if it gets blown up, it'll float into your Citadel, which then can like Geki your opponent on their turn. So, this deck's got a lot of power and a lot of sustaining power. Like, you'll be recurring a lot of resources to hand, searching through your deck. Certain cards can be kind of dead when you draw them, like triple Desires, triple, redeployment, things like that. But you don't have to worry about that in this deck. You pitch a lot of cards with both Switchyard and redeployment, and if those cards do become dead, like, you probably already lost the game at that point, but initially you want to turbo into your cards that will sustain you. So you guys will see in our duels how all these cards kind of interact with each other, especially like the interaction between Ruffian and Citadel is like amazing. During the end phase, you can use the Ruffian, search Citadel, and then tag it from your hand with our Link monster, and then you can get Citadel engraved that way without having to waste your other searches, things like that. So you guys will see there's a lot of synergy in between these cards, and yeah, I think...
Before we go into the Wild West of Yu-Gi-Oh!, is there any combo that's worth trying to pull off in the test hand feature before we go in, or should we just see what happens?
Oh, man. So the ideal opener in this deck, if we're going to go first, is that we'll make a True King of all Calamities and a Dora.
Let's see how to do that.
Now,
what do we need for it?
Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to activate Redeployment.
Oh, but did we open it? Did we have it?
Yeah, it's your 4th card, I believe. Yeah, so Redeployment, hit your Switchyard.
I meant, do we have the combo?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So you're going to add Metal Cruncher and Fortress. I'm not so sure we're going to be able to make Dora. So what you'll do, and this is is really important to know going forward if you're going to use the Machina cards is that Metal Cruncher's effect can only be activated while you have no face-up cards. So it's like Lightning Storm. So you're going to want to do it as your first thing, but that's why we're running the Machina package to beta applications. So yeah, there you're going to normal summon that guy. He reveals 3 Earth Machines, and he had a random one from the deck to the hand out of those 3. So we're going to select 3 Bullet Express. Super Express Bullet Train, I mean, sorry. I have lingo. So there you go, yep.
Oh, look, we managed to get this one.
Yep. How lucky. So now you're going to activate Switchyard.
All right.
At this point, we could actually, let's Desires, because we want to draw a Dare Crane. Let's do that.
Well, we didn't draw it, but...
Let me think. This... Okay, it's okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to special the Super Express Bullet Train.
If the zones matter, just tell me zone 1 to 5, left to right.
Okay, copy that. So now you're going to activate the field spell. So in this case, there's 2 different routes that we could have gone. Now, it would have been nice to have had Ruffian in the deck. I would have used that to search for Citadel. But in this case, we're going to summon the Ruffian. Or, no, sorry, not the Ruffian, the Pegasus.
Alright.
And then we can use his level copying ability to make him a level 9 like Metal Crunch. Now, if this gets stopped at this point, it's okay. We have tons of extension. We can still, you know, get into our link plays. But yeah, now we can make our True King.
So if we happen to open Dara Crane or some other level 10 extender, we also get Dora?
Yeah, and so what I would also probably do in this situation is I would pitch the Fortress with the Pegasus to get our Link monster online as well. Because, and this will just kind of show why Knuckle is so good. So now we can make Anger Knuckle. So in the end phase, we're already going to recur our Pegasus because of Bullet Express in the grave. Switchyard, or not, I'm sorry, not Switchyard, but Schedule, we're going to keep that in hand. This card is, you would be tempted to set it, but because they're under Calamities, any sort of affection or removal they're going to have, it's just going to blow the card out. We want to keep it. So Anger Knuckle on their turn can actually revive our Bullet Express in grave to then trigger another Pegasus off of Switchyard, which will then summon, I would probably target Fortress.
So I'm gonna end phase so we can actually do this.
Sure.
So it's their turn now. When can we use Anger Knuckle?
Okay, so at any point we can activate Anger Knuckle now, but it's only during the main phase. So yeah, so in main phase 2, you can just tag it out. Say we've already Calamities them.
Attribute itself or Calamities? Does it matter?
Itself. Because we can recur it from the grave, and since we have Switchyard in hand, if we need to recur it, we can target the Switchyard in search. So now we'll activate our field spell. This is why it's important to have multiple copies in the deck of cards that proc. So you'll activate Pegasus there.
So this is why we have the rail card, just to make sure this doesn't run out?
Exactly, and the Ruffian pluses us as well. So, alright, so then activate that effect. And we'll bring back Fortress. So you can already kind of see that if they did have any sort of removal, say they impermed the Calamities, now they have to contend with these 3 monsters, one of which is Fortress. When it dies, it's going to pop a card on their side of the field, and during the end phase, we'll get the Pegasus back again anyway. So you can see like the deck sustains itself, even if you're forced to go first, but this is going second deck, and you can already kind of see like how strong it is going first.
All right. Well, any deck that can make Calamities going first is probably got a pretty solid open. All right. So let's get into an actual match. All right. So we are waiting for our opponents in EU competitive.
Excited.
Oh man.
Yeah, I wonder who the first person is going to be here.
I played like 4 matches today, and everyone has complained about my Mystic Minds. So they can all go to hell.
Can you blame them?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you really shouldn't complain about cards that are in the format. You either want to play the format or you don't.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so you always have the option. Always have the option to leave.
Would say the game is kind of dying because of that. There are a lot of cards like that.
It's just changes to something new after the first thing goes. I mean, we're going to have S0 running around this format. Oh, look.
Second to go.
You got
a second.
Oh, I didn't even realize it says it that way.
Cool. So we opened up a pretty good hand for going second.
Some really good going second cards.
Yeah, what we're going to want to do on our turn, depending on what we draw, we're going to activate redeployment first, pitching the Ruffian, after we Lightning Storm this guy. Yeah, so let's Lightning Storm him, make him very sad, make us very happy. Yay, it's like getting my stimulus all over again. It's like Corona all over again. Okay, so, yeah, now we still have targets. Okay.
This could be better, right?
No, yeah, you're going to want to hold on to schedule.
Alright, well, he'll have more monsters than we do.
Exactly. So now we're going to do redeployment, pitching the Ruffian. Discard one card, add 2 Machina monsters. Yep.
It has a second effect to discard a Machina card to add also Machina spells and traps. Which, I mean, none of them are that good.
So in this point, you're going to want to add Citadel and Fortress. These are our grind cards.
Alright.
So now we can normal summon the Metal Crunch and activate its effect.
I feel like out of habit from like Long Girsu in the past, I always go to this column.
Oh, it makes sense. So, okay, so if you didn't activate anything, yeah, well, let's go for Bullet Express. We're going to want to start getting our recursion online, especially with this guy.
Alright.
Cool. So yeah, at this point, now we can schedule. Sure. Let's see what he does. He probably has another negation, most likely. Maybe?
Pay another 2,000 life points? Well, do we have a level 10 to search? I mean, we do, right?
He did a lot of the work for us. Okay. That's alright. So, what we're going to want to do is get out the Pegasus. We just want to get him to grave. And, let's also get the, see, this is tough. We could get Daracrane, but since we don't have Pegasus in hand and we're not going to be able to summon, let's do the Bullet Express.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that way we at least get the recruitment.
Alright. So it looks like all we can do is attack.
Yep, let's just attack that Multi-Faker, get him to bounce our Metal Crunch. I'll definitely bounce it.
Alright, I can't wait to tribute summon that guy next turn.
Alright, so alright, so we'll go main phase 2. Let's just make sure that... I don't think we can do anything else. Alright, yeah, we can end our turn. Ruffian's gonna search, and we're gonna search out our Daracrane.
Yeah, this summon limit's a hell of a card. It'd be nice if we can go into Cleave Genius and turn it off.
Yes. What's great is that we run the Machina cards, so we can play around cards like this. So if he does set up, we can even crash our Fortress to pop it. It'll float into Citadel. It'll prevent him from doing a bunch of stuff, but looks like he's gonna leave us with a monster. No?
He might go into Hextia and then go into Link Cross. Oh, he can't run
under common limit as well, so I think he can only do Hextia.
Oh, yeah.
Which is totally okay, because unless he has another trap, we potentially can beat him on our turn. Let's see what he does. Okay.
Alright, he decided he doesn't want to Hextia. Okay. So maybe he just wants to keep his Silk on board.
Let's get our Pegasus, just in case. Alright. So we have all the monsters in our hand, so we don't need Metal Crunch anymore. So if you want to activate Switchyard, this is why Switchyard is so good, especially with the ratios that we're running. Because if he lets us summon a level 10 Earth Machine, we get to special Pegasus from deck. So what we're going to want to do is actually beat that out. Summon limit, of course. So, okay, well, let's Fortress and pitch the Citadel. we'll need the metal crunches to summon Fortress later on. And let's not dare Crane.
Alright.
Yeah.
If he targets us, he has to discard a card, right?
Yes. If he targets us with a monster effect, we get to pitch a card from his hand. So if he returns the multi-faker, does it return for effect on Silk?
It's a cost to return. So he can return it, target us, which
Nice.
will make him discard a card.
And then we can, yeah, we'll pitch the multi-faker out of his hand. So yeah, let's go into battle phase, and we're gonna attack the Silquidius.
And then he's got to pray he doesn't lose his faker from this.
Yeah, if he does end of battle phase on this, okay, we're good. Yeah, so let's attack the Silk.
Something tells me he's not aware of this effect, or he has no way to play around it.
Yep, let's pitch that multi-faker. Bye-bye. That's alright.
And main phase 2, I guess.
Yep. Main phase 2.
What can we do?
So now I think let's just get Fortress back on the field by pitching one of our extra metal crunches. And let's just yeah. So okay, that's all we're going to be able to do. Because Summon Limit is still a card.
Yeah. Apologies to viewers because we have no way of playing around Summon Limit right now, especially since we got our Lightning Storm Judgment.
Until he puts a big enough body on board for us to crash into. Remember, if he destroys our Machina Fortress, it's going to bring back Citadel from the grave.
While also letting us pop one of his cards at the same time.
And then we can also Raigeki him on our turn. Okay, so he's gonna, on our turn, he's gonna revive the multi-faker and probably summon an Seek. Smart. Let's see if he's even gonna out the Fortress. If he doesn't out the Fortress, potentially we can play.
Fortunately, we have a lot of fuel for it.
Yes. This is why the Machina package is so good. It allows you to continue to play.
Was there a chance that maybe it was better to discard the Bullet Train? I guess we need it for summoning, right?
Yeah, but we couldn't have summoned it, and I don't want to pitch it right this second until we out the summon limit, because then we're going to need to be able to spam monsters.
Alright. It'd be nice if there was a way to discard Bullet Train for Bullet Train.
If he does manage to out the Fortress, we're definitely going to want to pitch the Bullet Train then. But let's see what he does. If he does anything. Alexis T. Berserker. Whoa, dude. Went so berserk. Okay, so, alright, well, we drew a dead card. Let's use Switcher to pitch this redeployment out of hand to kind of filter our deck a little bit.
Deck thinning, let's go.
Yeah. So let's Switcher out another Bullet Express.
Alright.
And let's special one of them.
This could just scare him, right?
Yes, exactly. We're going to try to get him to reactively play. He's going to want to activate that trap to summon.
We don't want to do this, right?
Grave. No, we don't want to do that yet.
Alright. So battle phase? Or we can link into nothing particularly useful, I don't think.
See, with Genius, he can bounce that back. Genius can't be targeted.
So we have to find a way to deal with this over and over again for now?
Exactly. So perhaps we actually normal summon the Pegasus to give us another body on field.
We would
just so that we can
that.
kind of win this battle portion. He's going to get the Melseek, but if we're left with two monsters, we're looking good. So, alright, let's battle phase. Let's attack Fortress into Silk. Let's see what he does. He's going to revive Multi-Faker for sure.
Well, he should, because I think he's kind of got the infinite loop going on. He's got Manifestation plus Silk.
Yeah, he isn't committing. He's just building resources, but so are we. So we're doing okay.
It's like playing a game under Mystic Mind.
Yeah, he's just not trying to win right now.
Target us? How nice of you.
Let's get that Marionetta out of there. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Alright, yep.
Oh, we could attack with this?
Well, we're not going to do that. Let's attack with Pegasus. To attack with Bullet Train, we have to send 2 cards on our side of the field.
I can see a scenario where that might make sense. I guess we'd have to like draw like lightning storm.
Alright, so now that he
Has he summoned twice? He hasn't summoned this turn, right?
Yes, so I believe we can... No. He summoned...
Last turn.
Wow.
Because if we do this attack, he'll just block.
But he's going to do that in our end phase anyway to link off.
I guess we could force him out.
Yeah, so let's commit. Let's attack. We're going to send our Switch Yard and our Pegasus. We already have all of our resources, so that's fine.
Alright. So we shouldn't have to pay the cost to attack again, because it's a replay, right?
Yeah, we won't. Cool. And we're definitely going to attack his multiplayer here. He's going to probably summon Melseek. Yep.
Alright.
Yep, so let's kill that Faker.
Take some damage.
Yeah, he did most of the work for us already with that Solemn, so that's nice. Now we have a Chonker.
So I guess we're passing, because I think we're done.
Yeah, that's the end of our turn. So even if he does out this monster, we get Pegasus back.
Well, Pegasus means we have 2, like, summonable monsters.
Yeah, and unfortunately Melseek sends, it doesn't destroy, so it won't proc our Citadel at all, which would be dope. But that's okay. We're still gonna get our resource. Top deck a Lightning Storm. That's the power of a true train player.
Or Desires, it's a double lightning storm.
That would be even better. See, what's great too about decks that play cards like Solemn Judgment and things like that is that once they do all that work for you, once you whittle them past 2,000, you just have to go stop max them. So.
Oh, so if we manage to get to Gustav, we can end the game that way. Oh, look.
Exactly.
We
Okay,
can
so
negate
protocol.
effects.
So we're definitely going to want to make a Dora on our turn. Let's get back. Let's see what's in our grave here. Yeah, Texas for sure.
Well, we still won't be able to make Dora because we still can't summon 3 times.
That's alright, because actually what we can do, because he's going to make our Machina Fortress attack 0 with his Link 1, the Link Karibo, we'll actually crash into the Marionette, pop Summon Limit, summon our Citadel, and hit him for 3,000 and win anyways. So let's Terraforming to kind of bait out this sort of thing, just in case. We'll see, because he does have an unknown back row.
Well, he's got Protocol.
Yeah,
So-
his unknown potentially could be a Solemn Strike, which would kill us. So,
Well, he can't use a Solemn Strike right now. He's only got 1,200. He could just have another summon.
excellent point. That's alright, though, because at that point, what we're trying to do is get him to activate his Protocol to tribute, so he'll have no monsters on the field. And we're going to hit him for 3,000. So let's summon Fortress by pitching our Metal Punch. And we are going to attack just straight into his Link Karibo.
Trying to think of what he could have that would actually be good. Maybe a Konkuri?
Because Fortress and Citadel act in the same chain, he's not going to be able to prevent it. So, alright, so we'll do that.
Not going to be able to prevent both.
Another.
Alright, so which effect is...
Use
Oh.
that effect. Yeah,
Oh.
so let's target the Summon Limit. And it's going to chain our Citadel. So yes, we'll activate chain Citadel. He has to negate this or he loses, so...
He did not.
Okay. Does he have something else? Let's just attack him. Yeah. Does he have something else? No?
Maybe he didn't realize exactly what was happening. Because he definitely could have negated that.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know why he didn't do that. Perhaps Okay, whatever. So what's also great about this list that we're running is that it's very easy to side things out. So we're gonna go all in on beating this dude. So we're gonna want our reboot, our 3 evenly, and the 3 cosmic. We're gonna side in 7 cards, giving us 10 outs to back row. But I mean, you saw in that last game, if we had just outed his back row, we immediately would have won. So we're going to take out our terraforming, one of the desires, both of the effect dealers, one of the Pegasus, one of the redeployment, and let's see, how are we looking at that? We could also take out a Metal Crunch, and that should be good. Yep.
All right. I always question like playing Imperm or Valor against them, because other than the first turn, they're not usually useful, because once Protocol comes down, they're just like dead cards.
I just like it for the column placement. Oh, we're gonna ash this so hard. Oh, no. If he played Called By, I would have been very surprised.
This looks like a 2-card combo of some sort.
Yep. We'll see if he commits. We're going to Lightning Storm him regardless, but if he doesn't commit any monsters, we can't schedule. So we're going to Lightning Storm him anyways. Like I said, happy day for us. So, yeah, we could actually Lightning Storm if he Solemns. We could read it.
Well, that would be cutting us halfway, too. I guess we do it.
So then he's going to set to...
Well,
I'm just worried about him potentially drawing into a Silk.
Well, if we reboot this now, he sets something, but it gets destroyed, so it doesn't matter. With the exception of him...
He could potentially get back with Silk with this. Maybe top decks.
I
but
doubt
it didn't want to wipe all of them, so yeah, let's just reboot. Let's risk it for the biscuit. So you have double Judgment. Alright, we're gonna blow up 4 back row, please. Pay 4. Scroll 4.
I feel like that wouldn't be a bad card to exist. Pay 1,000, destroy a card on the field up to any number. Oh, well. Rage quit.
Like I said, people quit on this deck. Cool. Alright, man. So, yeah, I hope everybody kind of just from this initial duel, and even you can probably see yourself, like, this deck has a lot of extension, and even though it seems like there's redundant cards, they're all there to serve a purpose. So, right, let's...
I definitely like the Fortress. The Fortress definitely made everything, like, live.
Right, it also allows you to link. It allows you to crash and pop cards. It's a great utility card. So,
yeah, I love it.
All right, man. Let's go beat another person.
Yeah, I was picking up the stuff for this deck, and then they keep making new stuff, and they keep not having that stuff.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting that they keep making cards for this deck. I was like super drunk one night and bought this entire set, and regretted it so hard. Little did I know it would become like my favorite in the main deck. So, all right, no hand traps again.
Oh, this is a hand trap.
Yeah, this is basically the no traps card. We'll see if he commits. It's also a Raigeki, which is great. So
our opponent's also playing a 5-card extra deck, so you know that means that they are
interesting.
Yeah, a logical reason to do that would be you're playing a card like Recover, the pseudo glow bulb, but I doubt that's the reason they are doing that.
That is such a niche interaction. Wow. And it would work better in a deck that had 15 extra cards. Anyways, I think. So if this is all he does, that's a monster, he's going to be very sad.
Well, I mean, he could have 5 hand traps.
Okay. ABCs, I respect it.
Well, it's clearly bad ABC, but normally Union Hanger is like FTK.
Well, I mean, the other 10 cards were his other 10 copies of Buster, so...
Yeah. Alright, he's got A in hand.
He already normal. He really messed himself up with that.
Alright, so...
Okay, well, immediately we're going to redeployment our other switchyard. Alright, Metal Crunch and Fortress. Alright. So now, because his set card, now you might know more about ABCs than I do. Do any of the monsters float in any way that would, like, destroy our monster or something like that?
I mean, the best thing I can imagine this being is a C or a Gadget, I guess. The Gadgets might float and block a lot.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if it's C, he can summon one from hand, which wouldn't do too much. But if it's a Gadget, we might have to deal with, like, 3 Gadgets.
Yeah, I'm debating, because of his field spell, too, if that, like, floats into anything.
It doesn't float when destroyed. It will just allow him to attach a guy if he summons a Union. So let's say we kill a Silver Gadget and he floats into a Gold Gadget. Gold can then summon that A and then attach something.
Alright, so let's activate Switchyard.
Do we want to summon Metal Crunch first?
So what I'm thinking our play is going to be is that we're going to pitch Fortress to search. What I'm going to want to do is summon Pentastag and have Dare Crane.
Okay. So start with Switchyard?
Yeah.
I just remembered the whole no face-up cards thing.
Yeah, so let's pitch the Fortress to search.
Oh. I misinterpreted what I was pitching for. Alright, what are we searching?
Dare Crane, yeah. And to add insult to injury, let's Desires. Make him very sad. Let's see what we get. Okay. Alright, so let's bring back the Fortress by pitching our Metal Punch. Yeah. Now we're going to activate the Dare Crane.
So Dare Crane just needs a machine to be summoned?
Yes, an Earth Machine. This is also why Fortress is great in the deck, because it's an immediate special summon that procs both Bullet Express and Dare Crane. So, as you guys can see, this card is really good in this deck. So, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can immediately make Pentastag normal summon. If he does have Effect Veiler, that will be a bummer for our Pentastag. So, what I'm thinking is actually to normal summon Pegasus now and summon Metal Puncher. He potentially could have Nibiru too, which is why he didn't commit. I'm not entirely sure why, but okay, so he didn't Effect Veiler, so I think we're good. So let's use his Pegasus effect and target the Dare Crane to make him level 10.
Oh, I did that wrong.
Uh-oh. Well,
I didn't realize who I had to click on.
Oh yeah, so it's okay. We're gonna learn this like really quick. It's all right, guys. So we essentially had game on board anyways, but from this point, we could do a couple things. Like, so because we activated the Pegasus effect, if you hover over Pegasus real quick, you'll see you cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this effect, except with XYZ monsters. So now we blocked ourselves into XYZs. So probably the best thing going forward. Would be to probably get our Link out and put Dare Crane in the grave, because we're not going to be able to attack him.
So Dare Crane and
the the Metal Punch. Sorry.
It's all good. I don't know what I'm doing. I always do exactly what's said. Although
it's okay. Like, for anybody watching, we basically won this game now. So from here on, I'm just going to show you guys kind of like good recovery plays if he had like Impermed Us, things like that. So
I guess we're passing here.
Yeah, we should pass here just in case he crashes into the Fortress. So
okay. So whenever I activate its effect, I target the monster whose level I want to copy.
And then you click it again to verify that that's the monster. It's a double click. That's why, yeah, it's okay. It's if you haven't played online with this deck.
I played with it one time earlier today when I built the deck because you gave it to me, and I did not realize this was the deck I was on when I joined the game.
Oh wow, he's in a T set after. Okay.
Well, maybe he'll just make a Exciton name. Blow everybody up.
Interesting. So, yeah, what we're gonna want to do is probably save our Knuckle until he ends the main phase, or makes Buster and targets something, and we'll tag away the target. And then from deck, let's just check our banish pile real quick. Did we banish Ruffian? or Citadel? Either. See, this is the RNG of a true train god. This is what's up, is when you don't banish your stuff. So, end of main phase. Okay, beautiful. So, what we're going to do is we're going to tag out Anger Knuckle.
Turret itself?
Yep. And summon the Daracrane. So, what's great is we'll just bring out bodies that become our boost off max on our turn anyways. Yep. We'll proc field spell, and we'll summon out the Ruffian. And yeah, now it kind of doesn't matter what he does, I guess. So Anger Knuckle only activate in main phase too. So that's a good thing for everyone to remember, is that when someone is trying to bait you out into the battle phase, they could be baiting you by just ending the main phase, but it's always smart to just tag out and get the bodies and recur resources. It's always the best play. Alright. Let's see what he commits to. So if he just crashes into Pegasus, we've basically won again anyways. So I think that's probably what he's going to do. If he attacks Ruffian, he definitely has lost. So let's see.
Well, I wouldn't have put our opponent on playing something particularly good, considering his extra deck.
5 cards in the extra deck. Yep.
Maybe he's giving himself like one of those building challenges. He's running a YouTube channel. Every time I win a game, I get a new card in my deck.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I wonder if he's running with like a structure deck or something.
Actually, that wouldn't be the craziest possibility. Yeah. I don't know how many fusions are in the ABC structure deck, but I guess if they have XY and XZ, it's possible.
Yeah, he would have XY and XZ and Dragon Buster. So if he does 2 and 2 and then the 1 Buster, that would make 5. So that makes sense. Yeah, he has the platform. Okay, that's 100% what he's doing. So what does this card do? Equip, if the monster from this would be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. Beautiful. Let's switch yard, and we're going to pitch one of our extra Lightning Storms. We got this game in the bag.
I would hope so. All right.
So let's switch out a Bullet Express here. And we're just going to straight special that from hand. We're going to conserve our normal summon.
Does my zone matter? For
no, because we're going to turn it into an XYZ.
Just making sure.
Yeah. So, what we're going to want to do here is in, I believe you referred to it as Zone 2, where Bullet Express is, right?
Yes.
That's where we're going to make a U-Stop.
Oh, Daracrane?
With the, with the Daracrane and the Bullet Express. And, yeah, let's activate the effect here. And I want to pop his unknown back row. I have no idea what it could be. It most likely, yeah, let's pop that back row. It's most likely I'm trying to think what was in that structure deck. Yeah, that's probably
a Kaiba card.
Oh, okay. So I think that was in the structure deck, right?
I would assume so. It's a Kaiba card.
Yeah. So at this point, we kind of have OTK. So with those the 2 monsters, the Ruffian and the Fortress. Let's
well, we can bounce it back.
Yeah, let's make Akashic Magician. See, this is also why Akashic Magician is great instead.
So neither of those summon a monster when they float. So
yep, we already won. So
now we're just leave and attack.
And his sealed only episode.
I think I'm going to end this match following this duel, because playing against a structure deck was not the plan.
Yeah, we're at a supreme advantage. So, yeah, let's just
it took me screwing up to still have no chance of losing.
Yep. It's also the resiliency of this deck with the choices that I run. So, it works, man. So yeah, we can make this anywhere. We'll detach. First time we're seeing leave punch for game here.
Does it matter what we detach?
We're definitely going to want to detach the bullet just in case he Bailers on the off chance battle. I'll just hit him for 6.
So Libe locks us into attacking with Xyz, I think?
When you activate Lieb's effect, you can only attack with Lieb, and you can attack a number of times onto monsters. The number of materials plus 1. So 1 material, you could attack 2 monsters. But if you have no monsters, you can still attack directly. I mean, it's just sad. Like, this deck is meant to, like, totally beat down meta decks. So if someone's not running that type of deck, then we're just gonna kind of just steamroll them. Run them over like a train, so to speak. You know?
I don't get the reference.
This is
All
your
right.
station. You've arrived at your stop. Shame.
Alright, come on, opponents. Somebody.
Are
Usually
we
when
in
I'm...
an American server?
No, we're in EU still. Your default stays in the same server you close the program on, so unless you change it yourself, it's still there. When I'm playing myself, I usually open 2 copies of the program, and I host a game in EU and West, just to see, and US West, just to see which one someone joins first, and I just cancel my game creation in the other one.
I find myself doing that a lot nowadays because I'm going second deck and I have to watch a 20-minute combo all the time. So
Hey, we're playing against JFK.
oh my god. So this is a safe vehicle for him. Nah. That was a horrible joke. Let's see what he does. We don't have hand traps, but what we're definitely going to do is we're going to redeploy the fortress, depending on what we draw. Okay.
We could be dead.
After the 20-minute combo, like I said.
So, we do play some hand traps, but we could be dead, because this deck, ridiculous.
Potentially, if he does... Okay. So if he does the combo that I've been seeing, he could be ripping 2 cards out of our hand, which is okay. If he gets the fortress, we'll just refer it back. All of our cards plus us, so... Almost
Well, the biggest issue with this, I think he bricked because he opened the O-line, but this combo, it's not that they just take 2 cards out of your hand. It's because it's off of Smoke Grenade of the Thief. It's their choice of 2 cards.
But he didn't do that. He didn't go for...
Well, he opened the O-line, and he didn't get to Isolde, so odds are this is not going to be exactly normal. So we might be lucky in this game that he's not just going to pull our hand apart, but we're probably going to have to do something about it next game.
Yeah, I'm trying to wonder what exactly is going on. Like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know the backup play.
Level 5 synchro.
Well, level 5 synchro would be what, Garden Rose Maiden? He could go Garden Rose Maiden and Crystal Wing, maybe? Oh, this guy.
I can't recall. Are we playing a pre-release card? Okay,
I always go in. Yeah, the pre-release I put on not because I'm not against playing against new decks, new meta, because I mean this stuff's all coming out. Also, whenever you restrict your hosted games on Yugioh Pro, it becomes harder and harder to find opponents.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah, so I don't.
Pre-release stuff.
Yeah, pre-release is fine because most of the games are hosted or pre-release. It's I think the default setting also. Okay, so that might be where he ends.
So if he just ends on 1 gate, one of those is definitely a call by. So he's going to send a search. He's probably going to get Immortal Phoenix. Yep. Predictable. Cool. So okay, so let's just talk about our hand real quick. We have 999 seconds to do so. So we have Switchyard, Fortress, and 2 redeployment. So we're
and if he negates the activation of deployment, we could still play it.
Yes, exactly. So in this case, though, what we're really going to want to resolve is our Switchyard. Everything else is going to kind of negate, but we do have to factor in that he has definitely got a call by the grade. All we need to do is crash into him. So let's redeployment. And yep. And to discard.
Well, if we don't care about redeployment, maybe we should discard the second copy so we don't get called by it.
Yeah, let's do it because, because we only have 2 targets anyways and it's going to be dead. So, yep, let's discard that. Not negate. Alright, so let's get our Metal Crunch and our Citadel. We could, throw that in battle phase, but I would love to OTK this guy. So, let's Metal Crunch to bait some negation.
I mean, so far, there's no indication of exactly what deck we're playing, so maybe we'll get a little farther.
Yeah, so far he's probably thinking it's only knocking. Okay, so yeah, so Bullet Express.
Alright, so at this point, I feel like someone would negate the Urgent Schedule for sure.
Yes, so let's actually do Switch Yard. Now we can have face-up cards. So we have used our normal summon, and this is why it's so great to play Platinum Gadget. So if he does negate, okay, that's easy. So let's chain Urgent Schedule to that negation. And we'll get out our Daraframe and Ruffian. Alrighty, doesn't have additional interruption. We are free to play. And at this point, because of how many extenders we have, it almost kind of doesn't matter what he does. So let's special summon the Bullet Express. Perfect. And what we're actually going to do is we are going to go for Sky Palace Gengar Die.
With just the monsters we have now?
With the 2 level 10s. And just target one of his back row, detaching his Daraframe with its effect. Doesn't matter.
Gengar pops a card and inflicts 1,000 to your opponent. Okay. So that means we hit like the wrong card because now we can't use the Daraframe to pop the other one.
That's alright because, yeah, so what we're going to do is actually make Pentastag with Ruffian and Metal Crunch.
Did I place this Gengar in the wrong place to begin with?
Nope. And now we're going to turn him into lead.
Same zone,
and
right?
Underneath Pentastag, yes sir. And GG. Let's so
effect?
just what I'm thinking. So we can, if he has like a Baylor, I don't think he does.
We know what his card in hand is. It's God Phoenix Gear 3, right?
Oh, you're right. So yeah, let's detach and let's just crash into this guy.
I mean, if he has Imperm, we still get to kill the Savage, right?
Alright.
So if he Imperms us, we kill Savage. If he doesn't, we kill him.
Yep, so now we're gonna crash into his Link Cross. He's probably reading the lead going, oh no. This is nothing triggering. Back him. GG's JFK.
Alright, game 2 against Hand Loop the deck. I feel like these DD Crows will be useful.
Yes, so we're definitely going to want DD Crow. So, what are the chances of him making us go first?
I'd say 0.
Yeah, probably 0. So, alright, so that's good.
I think the Lightning Storms are probably useless. Like, I feel like they're not going to be live. Like, we're going to lose them if we have them. So.
And if we just stop him from doing that combo in the first place, he's just going to pass the test. So, let's go.
That's it. Yep.
And if he makes us go first, we're going to Calamities. Hopefully. Yep. And we have the Calamities combo with Dora. So, okay, thank God he was smart and he didn't make us go first. So yeah, you're actually going to want to save the Infirm for the Isolde second effect. Just in case he goes into an extender and makes a second Isolde after the first. Kind of happen.
Yeah, I know it can happen, but sometimes you have to do it on the first one. But it's hard to know when that's actually the case.
Well, since he can't use the monster that he's going to add, I think we're pretty okay. Since he decided to go first, he most likely slided in like back row pieces. The red layer, okay. This guy might not be very experienced with Infernal Knights. Yeah, I was like, he just sent the complete wrong card. So,
okay. Well, I don't know the combo either, but I'm pretty sure that's supposed to get added to hand.
Yeah,
to be used with the Tatsunoko.
They'll go with Soul, and they add that card to their hand, the red layer, and then they'll dump 4 to summon like the Olivier, or they'll dump 1 to summon the Renown. So,
in some part of the combo, I think they make Tatsunoko, and then they synchro it red layer from your hand.
Sometimes, but that's in the OCP lists. From what I've seen this guy do so far, he's just running like the lithium list, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right.
he was a little too inexperienced, and we had plenty of stuff in our hand already to win. So, even though I guess that guy was meta, but he didn't know how to play his decks.
I don't know. Sometimes people just screw up on Yugioh Pro. Like I had a guy quit on me today already. He normal summoned the wrong monster because his hand got shuffled by his search effect, and then he forgot that his hand got shuffled. He just clicked the same place.
That's happened to me many a time.
The recent video I did, I forgot what the recent one was. Mech Knight, a guy went to battle phase after his Moon Glacial left the field. It just ended his turn. So some stuff that happens that people aren't used to.
All right, Mike. So let's go second. Lightning Storm. All right. Still good hand. Very, very good hand. Tons of baits. We have Hand Trap. Prank Kids. I have almost next to no knowledge how to play against this deck. I'm not sure if we actually even want to save the Imperm for our turn to like turn off one of its monsters.
I think we do.
Yeah, I think they search a lot of like back row stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hold the show no chain button, but here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna set up a quick play Raigeki or Harpies, although he might be able to set them up after we put cards on the board, so we might not be able to stop him from Raigekiing us. So we want to play around being Raigeki.
Yeah. It's okay because we have redeployment. So what we're going to do is actually most likely search the Citadel Fortress. So even if he does do that, it's going to float and pop a card.
This is something that might be worth negating. It searches a
spell trap. That one maybe. I'm not so sure. Like I don't know. I've play against this deck, so
well,
because I'm inexperienced, I would most likely Imperm this, just to prevent him from getting that trap card. Yeah.
Well, most of his other cards, we might not be able to Imperm them at all. There are a lot of quick plays where they tribute themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So he'll kind of do what you do with the double-headed Angler Knuckler. The only thing that we might have wanted to hold it for is sometimes they make totally awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I think that, what?
The fusion of the 3 normal ones is a Thunder, so he'll shuffle back red, green, and blue to summon this one. This one's Raigeki.
Oh, okay. Effect, discard, destroy all monsters opponent controls. This card is sent to the graveyard, target monster special.
And something we need to know is that this new Link 1 lets you banish it from grave instead of tributing yourself, but if we went to Imperm him, he probably just would do the effect while tributing himself, so we can only play around it so much.
Does it tributes for effect?
Correct, so we can't...
Okay, yeah, so it would have activated it. Okay, cool, that's fine, then we did the very, very correct play. So what we're going to want to do is redeployment, and... I'm afraid of called by because I want to summon the fortress, but let's
I don't think he's got called by. I wouldn't put him on called by. Because their deck's really hard to hand trap.
Okay, great. So, at this point... Okay. So, what does this field spell do?
It doesn't do it.
Return fusion, summon, begin attack once per turn. If you link, okay, so that doesn't do anything.
It searches a Prank Kid when it's activated. That's what it's really used for.
I got you. And then
but it also gave them a
monster is also just a searcher.
It searches on summon. During his turn, he could have tributed it to summon 2 non-link Prank Kids from his grave, but because he was negated, he didn't have a reason to do it.
I see. So, basically, Yeah, we want to bait his like Raigeki, so let's summon.
He can do it twice, by the way, because it's not once per turn, but because he has this thing, which isn't released yet. He'll be able to banish this to tribute once to Raigekius once, and then he'll actually be able to tribute to Raigekius again.
Okay, so we'll most likely want to schedule out off Citadel and Pegasus. And Citadel, very important.
That'll help us pick around one Raigeki, I guess.
Mm-hmm. See what he does. So say no to that, and let's hold. Man, this is really tough. So we could activate Daracrane. He would most likely Raigeki us at that point.
I would imagine so. I was like thinking if we could normal the rail car.
I will boom. Yeah, you're funny. Okay, yeah. So let's. Yeah, exactly. This is a stupid way to go. This. So okay, let's not chain Daracrane. We're gonna need Daracrane. So at this point, let's.
Oh, he's blowing him up now.
Yeah.
Why is Daracrane still asking us to do something? That's
so
we should.
This is really interesting, and let's just touch on this for 1 second. Just hover over Daracrane. This is really, really important. There's a huge misconception about this card. A lot of people think that this card chain blocks because that it summons when something else is summoned. That's not how this card works. It's a you-can effect, so it floats during the entire condition of a monster being summoned. So
that's not quite right. There's a difference between there's a TCG and OCG ruling difference. It is a chain block card. It's the same as a.
Well, once we get that ruling, that is really, really busted.
It is the case. It's just Yugioh Pro is programmed to follow OCG rulings, so you'll see any card that normally does a chain block in IRL Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't do it here.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be able to summon it. So I actually don't want to summon it.
No, we don't want to do that. Yeah, don't. Just let him blow up the field. It's alright.
Okay.
So now, actually, what we're going to do is let's get the Fortress out by putting our Daracrane.
Because he could still Raigeki us one more time.
That's okay, but we'll get Citadel in that case.
But he'll have to tribute himself to do that. I mean, we can like crash into him to force him to do it, or we could crash into this guy.
Yeah, let's crash into his Link monster in the threatened battle phase. He'll most likely trigger it anyways, and we'll still. Okay, yeah. So let's crash into his homeboy.
So the ruling in the OCG for the hand trigger effects is that they're treated as quick effects, which means you can chain them to speed spell 2 effects, which you can't do in the TCG. So.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, let's get Citadel and Grave. That's good to know because I've gone back and forth with a lot of trained players about that, and some say it does, some say it doesn't. Let's attack. It makes it very, very busted. So let's go. Hope that gets fixed.
Yeah, the general rule for trigger effects in hand is you can only activate one trigger effect per chain that special summons a monster, and it's speed spell 1. So technically, both players, when they have trigger effects that activate. Turn player has to declare theirs first, all of them. So you can't just say, I'm going to use Gazelle on, I can't use Baylings on field and say, do you have a response, and then say I have Gazelle in hand. You have to say it right then. But Yugioh Pro doesn't give you that prompt because it's just a different
that would also work with like Blue Mountain Butter Spry and cards like that.
All of those cards. All of those cards, same exact.
Okay, yeah, let's go main phase 2. And we're just going to normal summon the Ruffy card.
I guess we link it away, that way if he kills it.
No, we're actually going to hold it. That way we can Raigeki his board on with our Raigeki monster, and we'll tribute the Ruffy.
Okay.
To get us a search.
I think all of his monsters are under 18, so that's a good.
That's what I'm assuming too. That's why I'm thinking it's a good play.
Well, that's unavoidable.
All right. I wonder what she's going to do. Under Dragon package. Interesting.
Well, they just printed this. There's an OCG card they just got, which is this Bow Wow thing. Yeah, so pretty much any one prank kid is like full prank kid combo if you don't do anything about it.
I got you.
So there is a chance we die just because of their combo is really good.
They can OTK.
Yeah, if they don't have to use the prank kid spell for fusion, they're not locked into prank kid. So he'll just make like access code and have like 4,000. He'll have like a ton of link monsters to pop everybody with different attributes. I guess he could screw up. He could blow up the Citadel and then blow up the rail car. Can we get the Citadel
that
down?
could happen, yeah. I don't know. This is probably the second time I've seen a Frank Kids player play. So, it's not a super popular deck, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, the Link one got it some price hikes recently. Like I think this field spell went from $5 to like $15 all of a sudden.
So if he gets the fusion,
all the monsters activate when they're used to summon a prank kid by Link or Fusion. They summon a different one from the deck and do something else. So the green one just sent the water one to grave and summons itself. So it foolishes one and summons one. The blue one like gains him 1,000. The red one burns us for 5, and the rock one lets him banish a card in his hand to draw a card. So odds are he'll try and fuse it away to banish that Thunder Dark in his hand.
I got you. Okay.
That way he'll have like another Thunder Fusion or something.
So potentially he could assist him. Alright. Yeah. Because we're going to have a recovery play, which is pretty nice, and we're going to, with Ruffian, we're going to search Bullet Express and summon out the Fortress by pushing the Bullet Express. Yeah, it would have been better to have probably made the Link monster. I just wasn't anticipating.
I hear you. There's also no way of really knowing what he's got. I mean, he does have he has got a quick play fusion spell that he could set, which he didn't have the cards to use, so I wasn't worried. And he has another trap card, Continuous Trap, that lets him link on during the main phase. Ooh, lucky us.
Oh, unlucky. Lost connection.
We got a rage quit. I think we will end it here just because it's getting kind of long. I'm going to go back to the deck list and see if there's anything you want to discuss.
Yeah, let's hop back.
All right, we definitely weren't going to lose that match and didn't leave to not play that match because we didn't know how it works.
You definitely
but that's okay.
Put it because you misclicked, not.
Yeah, we won 2-0 swiftly.
As long as your opponent bricks and misplays, like you're the king of games.
What's up with this Platinum Gadget? Like, I felt like it's an
Platinum Gadget is really, really amazing. If anyone watching plays this list, you will realize how good Platinum Gadget really is. Because we're running Fortress, we have a lot of ability to link play. And so in the event that we are trying to Pegasus, I'm sorry, not Pegasus, but that we try to like boost off on our turn, they negate the boost off, that doesn't go through. Well, with our Fortress, we can then bring him back, link off with a Pegasus in hand, summon the Pegasus from hand, still get its effect, make another rank 10. So it's just an ability to play through negations, and the Machina line allows you to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually really liking the Machinas in here.
Yeah, it works really well. It's also there because, so the combo, maybe we can, I don't know if we can do a test hand and get the exact hand that I'm trying to talk about, but it would just be like Metal Cruncher and Switch Yard. And essentially the idea is that you normal summon the Metal Cruncher and, oh, well, okay, that's the combo. Okay, so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's activate Redeployment. And we're going to pitch the Aircrane. Yeah. This is if you don't draw Switch Yard, you can still make Calamities. So yeah, so we're going to add Metal Crunch and Fortress. Beautiful. Now we're going to normal summon our Metal Crunch. Use his search effect. This is to bait negations. So yeah, we can hold on to the Aircrane for now. So in this case, because we have almost our entire package of everything that we need, you're going to want to search like basically your utility cards. So I would select the Citadel, the Ruffian, and the Night Express Knight. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's the right thing to do. Yep, perfect. So now we're going to summon the Bullet Express from hand. And with those two monsters, let's make Platinum Gadget.
Should we try the Derek Crane or not bother?
Let's not bother. It's okay.
I was concerned I messed up already before.
Yeah, so now we'll make Platinum Gadget. This is only focusing on those later extensions in games where you need to survive the turn and you don't have access to Switch Yard or those materials are spent. So now with Gadget, we can summon the Pegasus from hand. And we're going to target the Metal Crunch.
Is there a use for this?
No, we're going to want to save it. So at this point, this is why it's smart to save it specifically with this hand, because once we make Calamities, that's 5 summons. So yeah, we're targeting make level 9, and that's how you get your Calamities. This is just a utility card. It shows you just how easily it is to make Calamities in this deck. There are a couple ways to do it, and this is one of them. So yeah, and now you can see if you peek Graveyard real quick. So we're going to get the Derek Crane back in the end phase because we pitched it. So we could have summoned the Derek Crane that we did have in hand and then also summon the Fortress. We don't run any like generic link 2s, that would be good, and we can't link off a Platinum Gadget. The Platinum Gadget is only there for extension in case we get stopped. Fortress allows us to extend into these links so that we can still OTK. So yeah,
well, we could like play like an IP and then IP with Platinum.
Yeah, and I've talked to a few train players about running IP and Unicorn, and a lot of us agree that it's really not worth it because in the end phase, when you're dwindling resources and recurring, those resources you get back to hand aren't ones you're going to want to pitch. So it's a little counterintuitive in this deck that already discards a lot.
Well, I figured you can go into like an Avermax and make it hard to get over these cards.
Yeah, that's also a good idea. So yeah, that's actually a pretty great point because we can't use Platinum Gadget the turn it summon. So on their turn, we could easily IP Avermax. That's an excellent point. So, but that's only in this specific hand. But yeah, there you go. You can kind of see this deck. If it goes first, we're gonna Calamities you. We're gonna Dora you. Yeah, and unfortunately, we didn't get to make our BLS Link monster. That might be one of my favorite monsters in the deck. Against like Eldritch and things like that, you definitely want to summon this against Striker. I highly recommend too that when you summon this card, you don't use its banish effect. Give it the 1500 attack first, just because of access code talker.
Okay, so once he's too big to be dealt with, just start running everything over, I guess?
Start banishing stuff. A lot of those decks, they're not going to be able to handle you because you can't be targeted or destroyed. So it's an excellent card against control decks. Pretty awesome. We got to use Akashic Magician today, even though it was against a little bit of a meme deck. This card also has an interesting utility that if you urgent schedule during your opponent's turn, and you leave your Pegasus in either zone 2 or 4, you can then Akashic it back to your hand, so you have a Pegasus on your turn. So, you know, there are interactions like that that happen in this deck. So it's good to kind of keep cards like that in mind. It's not 100% necessary, but I run stuff like that because utility and experience of running into, you know, the average Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
All right. I play Akashic. I'm a fan of it. I also resolve its other effect to try and dig through the deck, which looks a little tough to do here, but not impossible.
Potentially, but we run a ton of 3-ofs, so maybe not. And if you desires, you could then calculate the odds of the card are by what you banish, and that's great. So with those 3-ofs, it actually is a pretty useful card even for that. So yeah, I think we had a pretty good duel session today. It was nice. The first duel, everyone got to kind of see immediately how good the Machina package is in this deck. If we were running Infinitracks, it probably would have almost lost us the game because of summon limit. We wouldn't have been able to resolve enough effects to build into our monsters, but we were able to just beat that guy down with our Machina.
Well, maybe we'll try and do Infinitrack Trains another day since I made the artwork for it. So it's all set up.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I had a ton of fun, man. This is great.
All right, cool. All right, so Travis, once again, we're gonna link everybody below to Duel Humor. I don't know. You said you have a train Discord group or a Facebook group or something?
Yeah, so I have a super secret society of train players, and we are on a unknown program called Discord. So yeah, if you want to maybe like message me somehow, I'm in conductor.
I mean, I can link the Discord link in the description. Not everybody really joins the Discord links, but if they're just dedicated train players, they might show up.
Yeah, exactly. We're really looking to make this deck like as competitive as possible. I want to top an event. All it needs is representation. Hopefully everyone got to see today just how powerful this deck is. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe to both Legacy Crusaders and to Duel Humor. Yeah, that would be amazing. So, dude, this was a great session.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad we got to do this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, Travis. I'll see you guys next time with Infinitrack Trains. Adios.